Battalion 5 on TAC 9, initiating roll call for 9.
Whether it be in the fire service or any other organization, those whom history has proven to be great leaders probably had a different version of themselves and their role. In fact, according to leadership coach Dennis C. Miller, great leaders were, quote, more concerned with the change they wanted to see and the change they wanted to be. Therefore, Miller asked, how can we cultivate a new generation of leaders to match the achievements of those from the past?
I really preferred the leaders that were down to earth, that were grassroots, never forgot what the job was about, not worried about themselves. Over the years, I learned and hopefully emulated throughout my career is that you never forget where you came from. Always put yourself in the shoes of your people. Think of things from their perspective.
On Saturday cleanup, I would do things that I could do to assist with the guys doing cleanup, even if it was a small task like changing light bulbs. I think for me personally, what I looked for when I was coming up through my years in the fire department was I wanted a leader that led by an example. He wasn't afraid to do the mundane task, and that's one of the things that I continued to do after I got promoted.
Managers manage things, leaders lead people. It's a lot harder to be a leader than a manager.
You're still part of a crew in the company, but yet now you're in that supervisory role, so it takes a little bit of adjustment, not only for me, but also for the folks around you. And probably the biggest thing was just understanding that, every now and then you walk into the kitchen, guys got quiet, but you had to learn that, from my perspective, that I had to earn their respect, not demand it.
I had some leadership that, to me, wasn't up to snuff because lack of people skill. People want to be treated right, so you work with that person, you exude the type of confidence that you have in the people that are beneath you, as well as respect them.
I think it's important to support your subordinates. If you don't understand where they're coming from and what their issues are that they face, then you're going to be making really bad decisions, I believe.
The human resource piece of it, to me, is being a company officer, an officer in this department. That is probably the biggest piece. Strategy and tactics, those are easy, all right? 5% of the time you're riding up front, making that call on the big one, so to speak, those are easy. Just keeping your folks happy in the fire station and wanting them to expand and become successful.
It is very true. Fires are easy. You got four corners, tetrahedron. People are complex. You never know where they're coming from. You never know what's going on in their minds. You don't always know everything going on with their families, their personal history. You just don't know.
You want that person that have the knowledge to pass that knowledge on to you, as well as looking out for your well-being also. A leader take care of his people.
It's a lot different than when I first came in. They're more educated. I think they come in expecting to be valued right away.
When I came through in the 70s, there weren't many of us that had a degree. That changed by the year 2000, where many of us were getting not only our bachelor's degrees, but we're starting to go for our master's degrees. And so that changed the dynamic as a new generation came in and felt like that was important.
The newly promoted officers today, many of them who are promoted quite early in their career, may not have the life experiences of working in the firehouse and the camaraderie and just being a member of a team before now they find themselves in a supervisory role.
I think people nowadays that apply for the fire department, they come applying to the fire department even with master's degrees. So I think you get the technical part of it, but again, you don't get the hands-on stuff as it relates to the fire service. You know, going out on the calls and, you know, getting that wisdom, that institutional knowledge that's, you know, required to be a good leader and to be a good firefighter.
You know, once you get out of ops, there is a learning curve to some of these other side jobs that we have that are just as important, but they do have learning curves.
When you're in the firehouse, over time you begin to develop leadership skills because of the people that came before you and the people that you're working with that are your leaders. You know, you learn from them.
Look and listen. You know, it's the old thing, we got 2 ears and 1 mouth. You should listen twice as much as you talk, but listen and observe the good leaders that you see.
Especially if you're a new company officer where you may only have, let's just say 5 to 8 years on the job, and you're able to, you know, you've been promoted that piece. If you got some senior folks around you, you would be setting yourself up for failure if you do not take their advice and listen to them.
You always have to care for the people you work with. That's our #1 job as a leader. The mothers and fathers who give you their children, their sons and daughters to fight fire expect that they come home every night. And that's our mission. Everyone comes home. You have to take the responsibility that the choices you make have to be the right choices so that everybody can come home at the end of the shift.